of our campus, we delight in having you here today to celebrate the accomplishment of remarkable young people who have been our guests this week as part of the 2016 Middle School Concert Band Academy. My name is Scott Jones, and in addition to serving as the Associate Director of Bands here at Ohio State, I also have the great pleasure of serving as Director of our Youth Summer Music Programs, an umbrella organization under which 8 separate programs over the course of about 6 weeks in the summer bring about 500 students from around the country to our campus for weeks of exploration of all things music and human and beauty and joy. And it has been a great pleasure to start this 2016 summer with our brand new offering, the Concert Band Academy. I have just a few words of gratitude and a couple of announcements to make, and then we are going to get on to the business of the morning, which is celebrating the young musicians who've been with us this week. First off, you need to know that a program like this doesn't go without tremendous leadership from within the actual offering. And David Hedgecock, the leader of this program, the creator of this program, the person you'll be hearing from later, and his staff of faculty and students who are listed on the back of your program. And rather than reading all of them, I'll just let you know that they each have my undying gratitude for bringing this program to life and bringing the young people who have been our guests this week into greater and deeper understanding of what it is to be a musician and to be a human being. So a round of applause for our entire staff and for those of you who are parents and guardians, that you have a choice about where you send your sons and daughters to engage music like this, and we are grateful for your willingness to entrust their well-being to us this week. You will receive another communication or two from us electronically, and one of those will be an invitation to share any and all feedback that you have about this experience this week. Know that we are always looking for ways to improve and to enrich the programs that we offer here. And when it comes time to share the dates for the 2017 summer, we will by all means contact you electronically and share not only the dates for the Middle School Concert Band Academy 2017, but also the other suite of offerings within the Youth Summer Music programs here. Following today's program, as you may know, there'll be a reception down in the lobby where you can enjoy some lemonade and some cookies and shake lots of hands and fist bump and high five musicians who will soon be performing for you. But again, our deep gratitude for your support of this event, for being with us here today, and it's now a great pleasure to introduce to you and welcome to the microphone my good friend and colleague, Dr. David Hedgecock.
I'm only 5'8", this down. 5'8.5" on a good day. Hey everyone, we've had a great week with your students, having the opportunity to get to know them and work with them. And I'm really confident they've had a positive experience being a part of the Ohio State community this week and being part of our School of Music in the activities and music that we've been able to present to them and interact with them. About a year ago, Scott Jones and I had a conversation. He said, man, what if we had a concert, band, festival, academy, camp in the summer? We can do it. Middle school is awesome. I taught middle school for a long time, and I love middle school students, and I think middle school is an incredibly rich time that sometimes gets overlooked after the specialness of elementary school and kind of finality of high school, but there's a lot of opportunity in middle school. We said, you know what, we're going to do it. And rather than have a middle school concert academy, summer camp that was encompassing of some sectional time, and certainly the culminating event of the concert that you'll have on stage in just a while, I wanted to make sure we had perhaps some enrichment opportunities that maybe students don't always have the opportunity to be exposed to during the academic school year, and certainly some things that might be unique in this area. So we developed a kind of elective program of music theory, ukulele, world drumming, and beginning and intermediate piano. All of your students had the opportunity in 2 of those. So we're going to start today's concert with 3 short little vignettes to give you a kind of a snapshot of what some of those elective courses had to offer. So we'll start with the Morning World Drumming Ensemble. They have named themselves the Jammin' Djembes. That's cool. And so they're going to stand now, and if you'll take your places across the way, their instructor has been Mr. Scott Bedell, and he's going to take it over for the next few minutes. Here we go.
You basically just keep like an 8-note tempo. Kind of keeps everybody together. And sometimes people get fancy and start sound like that. I'm probably going to use this too to give you a taste of what that sounds like. And we also learned about something called a shaker rate, which is a hollowed out and dried out board. And it has this kind of net of beads tied around it. It sounds very dry. It's way louder than you think it would be. Dry kind of sound. That also just is like keeping time, keep everybody together, and doing something to listen to. So this class is going to perform a rhythm called so-fa, kind of in the same vein as the other rhythm, like an African kind of drum rhythm.
Concert opener called Scorpion. I think that's just a cool title. I don't think there's any alliteration or anything like that. It's just called Scorpion. Here we go. is a unique position in life because often, sometimes being the back of the ensemble, you're not always featured, maybe at least at the middle school level, you may not get parts that are overly exciting at times. So we're going to perform a piece that features both mallet percussion in the front and then the back side of the ensemble, battery percussion and auxiliary instruments as well. So this feature is called Mallet Maniacs, and I hope you enjoy it. Wine Day, which is very colorful. We have Thursday. Oh, Crazy Hat Day. It's crazy. And yesterday was Spirit Day. You can pick any school that you wish, whether it's your current middle school, the high school you're headed to, this wonderful institution where we're presently located, and dress up, show as much spirit as possible. There's one brave person that had a Michigan shirt on. We'll talk about that later. And because yesterday was so busy and logistically kind of tricky, we failed to recognize the most spirited individual and group, but I promised them I would not forget today. So with the students from Cardinal School in Dublin, Ohio, please stand. There are 8 of them. Come on, don't be shy. They represent students with kind of a varied repertoire, whether it's kind of an exciting piece like Scorpion or a feature piece like Mallet Maniacs. The third piece, Renaissance Canzona, presents them with really several opportunities, understanding the period of history, counterpoint style, different approach in understanding the Renaissance and Canzona, and they understood both. Bright children on stage. So we're going to present Renaissance Canzona, and we hope you enjoy it. where I'm going to give you a challenge. It's going to stretch some of you, and some of you are going to really enjoy it. Some of us might go, oh man, this is the hardest thing I've ever played. So we put in front of them a kind of a standard piece for 7th and 8th grade groups called the Great Locomotive Chase. There's some extended techniques. It's programmatic because it tells about a train that's kind of stopped in its tracks literally by a bunch of robbers, and then there's this crazy fight, but then the good guys in the end win. That's what really shortened it. But it's a longer piece, a challenging piece, and they've really risen to the occasion. So here's the Great Locomotive Chase. students feel they need to thank is all of you. So students, let's thank all the people in the audience. Ready to go? Because without all of you and your support, we wouldn't be here. And we certainly thank you for allowing them to be part of our school this week and our campus this week, and allowing us to be part of your summer, which is really great. Also want to remind everyone that immediately following the performance and logistics, all of you will exit the auditorium and go down to the lobby. That's what we're saying. Rock Summer Jam, man. Part of my philosophy for these type of summer programs is we should be somewhat relaxed. You know, this isn't like contest in public school. It's not a huge, high-pressure performance like we have at university times. And we should just have fun. Conducting the last piece is one of our PhD students in music education here at Ohio State. Her name is Crystal Gerard Herbie. She was a very successful middle school band director in Texas before she came to Ohio State. And she's been invaluable this week with logistics, all the things I couldn't remember, reminding me of the things that need to happen, working with the students, working with our student staff. So we're certainly glad to have her. So if you'll welcome her to the podium conducting Party Rock Anthem. Here we go.